Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, let's get going. I have some updates on now what was once BIF, now it's BID, and hopefully we'll get it to BIB. That's my joke for the day. All right, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Get it? All right. All right. As you all saw yesterday, the president and a bipartisan group of senators announced a deal on historic infrastructure investment that will drive economic growth and create good-paying middle-class jobs. The president is deeply thankful to these senators who he's worked closely with these past few months. This will mean breakthrough investments in our roads and bridges, in public transit and rail, connecting every American, including underserved rural areas, to high-speed internet, the most significant investment in clean energy transmission and electric vehicle infrastructure in our history, as well as historic investment in clean drinking water. Combined with the president's Build Back Better agenda, the bipartisan deal will help us create 2 million jobs a year for the next decade. This deal is going to create good-paying union jobs, building roads and bridges, working on rail, building unprecedented infrastructure for electric vehicles, replacing poisonous lead water pipes that are hurting our children, building new, more resilient structures. Yesterday, 67 senators, which includes 17 Republicans, 50 Democrats, voted to move forward with consideration of this package, which is not only welcome because of the life-changing benefits, as I just listed out, this plan would mean for the American people, but also because of the healthy signal about American democracy it's sent to the world. And the president's colleagues in both parties deserve enormous credit for that. There's an incredibly broad and diverse coalition behind this deal, as you all know, ranging from the Chamber of Commerce to AFL-CIO and including the nation's governors and mayors, building trades and majorities of Republican and Democratic voters. Last week, an analysis led by John McCain's former economic advisor found that its benefits would overwhelmingly flow to middle class and working families as it helps create millions of jobs. A new poll out just this morning for Monmouth shows an overwhelming 70% of the public supports this infrastructure package. And the president is also fighting for his Build Back Better agenda, which would make transformational investments in human infrastructure and on climate, on education, the care economy, and on making healthcare affordable while extending the biggest middle-class tax cut in our history. Also today, today's GDP numbers are further proof of the progress we've had jump-starting our economy. With today's data, the U.S. economy has now made up the losses of the last 18 months and surpassed the pre-pandemic GDP peak. In fact, in the first half of this year, the economy grew at the latest rate in nearly 40 years. It took 2 years after the last recession to return to the previous level. Today, it took half as long. You can see how far we've come just by looking at where we were this time last year. In the second quarter of 2020, we saw the largest decline in GDP on record, a decline of more than 31%. That's the story of the president's economic plan, taking us from the worst time of our economy in history to one of the best. The reversal is no accident. It's the result of President Biden's plan to curb COVID and deliver economic relief to families, small businesses, and communities throughout the country. At that strength isn't just being reflected in today's GDP's number, it's being seen across the economy. Earlier this month, we learned that the economy created 850,000 jobs in June, as you all know, with a range of 600,000 jobs created each month since the president took office. That's a total of over 3 million jobs created under President Biden. More jobs than any other president's first 4 months in history, and importantly, we're seeing better jobs with higher wages across the country. Recent independent forecasts from the Congressional Budget Office and the International Monetary Fund both doubled their projections for America's economic growth this year to the fastest pace in almost 40 years. The last time the economy was growing this fast, Ronald Reagan was telling us it was morning in America, and I think I was about 5 years old. So there's that. And this boom is backed by other signs across the economy. Consumer confidence is up, jobs are up, personal income is up, and unemployment is down in all 389 metro areas in the U.S. compared to last year's. And today I wanted to provide another update, as Jen has been doing these past couple of days, on some of the innovative ways we are reaching Americans on the importance of getting vaccinated. As we work to get more shots in arms, we're doubling down on empowering trusted messengers, which have been key to this process, to talk to their communities about the vaccines, including doctors across the country. We have been working with local doctors and local stations to get Americans their facts and answers questions. Since we started this program this summer, this effort has led to more than 400 original stories and syndicated airings of local doctors' interviews for a reach of more than 185 million broadcasts and online impressions. And beginning in August, this effort will expand even further with dozens of local African-American doctors from the National Medical Association joining in, helping us elevate the voices of Black physicians and reach hard-hit communities. Finally, a brief preview of the President's remarks later this afternoon. The President will deliver remarks on COVID-19 virus, about where we stand, the progress we've made, and the steps we need to take now to address rising cases in the nation. He will send a strong message to all Americans, unvaccinated and vaccinated, about the need to stay vigilant in our fight against the virus. And he'll make clear that his administration will continue to provide every resource needed to help communities and individuals across the country to curb the spread of the Delta variant and boost vaccinations. His remarks will highlight several new measures that his administration will take to accelerate this effort. And now, and I know you all are eager for specifics on the announcements, but we'll have something to share shortly on that. You want to take it away, Alex?
Sure. So my first question is going to be on specifics, actually, so whatever you can share would be helpful. There's been a lot of questions about how exactly it would work. Will federal contractors be covered? How will the federal government collect proof of vaccination? And will those who refuse to follow the guidelines be subject to disciplinary action or termination? Is there any clarity you can offer on any of those aspects?
Well, so I don't want to get ahead of the president, so I don't have anything specific to share. But I'll say a little bit more. I know the official details on the president's remarks and any forthcoming guidance that will be coming shortly on federal workers, as you're asking about, Alex. But one of the things that I want to kind of touch base on again, which is what I was talking about, which was one of the things that was under consideration yesterday. I discussed this yesterday on the plane on Air Force One on our way to Pennsylvania, which is attestation of vaccination. For those who may not know, it means confirming a vaccination status or abiding by stringent COVID-19 protocols like mandatory mask wearing, even in communities not with high or substantial spread, and regular testing for federal employees is one option under strong consideration. This is a really helpful way to ensure a safe workplace for employees. It also is not dissimilar to some of the protocols that you all have put in place in some of the new newsrooms that you work in, including Fox, Peter, who, to my understanding, is asking for self-attestation to ensure a safe and healthy workplace. So this is not an unusual matter. So we understand that there's significant weight to what the federal government handles, how the federal government handles reentry, and a key goal of ours is to ensure we have a sustainable sustainable model to keep employers across the country to make sure that they work in a safe workplace.
And then on the SID arrivals that are coming, can you tell us anything more about that? Are they coming tonight or tomorrow? Are they coming on a